In this video, we'll give you a clear overview of our top 10 places to visit in Alsace. We'll show you all of them from the air and from the ground, along with their locations on the map from north to south. We are a French family, former travel planners, and we run a user-friendly France travel guide, culturefrancia.com. Check the description, you'll find our pages about Alsace, plus our interactive map. First of all, let's start with a very quick map overview. Alsace is located in the northeast of France, with Germany to the east and north, and Switzerland to the south. Now, let's head to Strasbourg. Strasbourg is right at the eastern edge of Alsace, right next to the German border. It's the largest city in Alsace and its capital. The city is crossed by many river channels, and its center feels like an island because it is completely surrounded by water. It matches the historic old town, with open squares, shopping streets, and old buildings. Now, to the east of the center, there is the district named Petite France, which is the most picturesque area with the best preserved half-timbered houses in the city, and they are reflected in the different canals. Now, Strasbourg is also known for its incredible cathedral, with its stunning detailed facade and its tall spire. And inside the cathedral, you will be able to see the magnificent stained glass windows. And you can also go up to the roof to get a great clear view over the whole city. Now, let's head to Sainte-Odile. Mount Sainte-Odile is up high, with its sanctuary set at the top and surrounded by forests. The place is laid out around several buildings connected together with passageways, courtyards, and more open areas, with a pretty calm atmosphere between visitors and the natural setting. There are several parts built with pink sandstone, and inside the sanctuary, there are paintings and other religious objects. Outside, you will see terraces and courtyards open onto the surrounding landscape. And from the edges, you'll get several amazing viewpoints, with the forest all around and the plain stretching out in the distance, all of it in an atmosphere of nature and spirituality. Now, let's head to the Haut-Koenigsbourg. The Haut-Koenigsbourg castle sits on a ridge overlooking the plain, and it rises above the forests and the surrounding hills. It's a medieval fortress that dates back to the 12th century, and it was modified and restored several times over the centuries. Outside, you can see the courtyards, the ramparts, and the towers that shape the whole place. And you go across fortified access points with gates and successive passageways. Inside, there are different types of rooms, made of stone and wood, and you see rooms decorated with frescoes and period objects. And from the upper parts, you get a beautiful view that stretches over the wooded hills around and the plain in the distance. Now, let's head to Hunawihr. The village of Hunawihr is quite small. It stretches out along the foot of the hills around it, which are covered in vineyards. The village keeps a simple, peaceful feel, with traditional architecture made up of half-timbered houses, light-colored walls, and sloping roofs. As you walk, you move past colorful facades, small courtyards, and details like exposed beams, flowers on the windows, and discreet little streets. And as you head up toward the church, set a little higher up, you'll get a viewpoint over the village, and you'll find yourself almost right among the vines, where you can stroll around. Now let's head to Riquewihr. The village of Riquewihr is set in the heart of the vineyards that cover the surrounding hills. It's a well-preserved medieval village with a compact layout. The streets are narrow and lined with colorful houses. You move forward via little streets, small squares, and rows of typical buildings. Some alleys are cobbled and slightly uneven in their layout. Then the details repeat with windows, signs, and wooden elements. The whole thing creates a continuous path via the different parts of the village. And from outside the village, slightly up high, you'll get a great open panorama over the surrounding plains covered with vineyards. Now let's head to Kaysersberg. The village of Kaysersberg is set in a valley surrounded by hills covered with vineyards. The village is organized around its old center, which keeps a very typical feel with its half-timbered houses. You move forward via small squares and streets that are more or less narrow, with houses packed close to each other, and the scenery changes from one corner to another with different colors. There is also a small river running in the village with its little bridges, which adds even more depth to the setting. And outside, from higher up and from the top of the old tower, the view opens up over the rooftops of the village and the vineyards all around. Now let's head to Colmar. The city of Colmar is known for its beautiful, well-preserved historic center, which keeps a strong identity with its very colorful half-timbered houses. The streets flow one after another between old buildings with open squares, streets that are more or less wide, and views that keep changing all the time. The whole place creates a dense, structured setting that is very pleasant to explore. Then there is the famous district named Little Venice that follows a canal lined with aligned houses, with their facades reflected directly in the water and flower-covered bridges and viewpoints all along. And there are also small boats moving slowly on the water that can give you another way to discover this gorgeous area. Now let's head to Eguisheim. The village of Eguisheim is just south of the city of Colmar, in the middle of the vineyards, with the village laid out in several circles. It's a medieval village known for its traditional houses, its flowers, and that very well-kept atmosphere. In the streets, you move between tightly packed facades, decorated windows, and a few small squares. The layout is quite unique, with alleys that circle around the heart of the village, which creates a very smooth walk, almost like a loop. Then at every turn, there is a fountain, a courtyard, a cobbled passage, an arch, or a flower-filled corner that slightly changes the view. Now let's head to the Vosges. The Vosges mountains are located in the west of Alsace. The landscape shifts between peaks, valleys, and wide natural spaces, with a very relaxed atmosphere. The forest is everywhere, with tall trees and very dense areas, with paths that are often in the shade. Then some lakes appear in the middle of the landscape, with calm water surrounded by vegetation. There are many trails that go across different types of ground, between wide paths, narrower sections, and gradual climbs. And from some higher points, the view opens up widely, with incredible panoramas over the ridges and the valleys below. Now let's head to the Écomusée d'Alsace. This place is an open-air museum that recreates a typical Alsatian village like they were between the 1850s and the 1950s. The site is set in the countryside, and it brings together several houses and structures that stay true to their traditional style. The streets run between old houses with dirt paths, fences, and small gardens. Then some passages lead to inner courtyards with barns and everyday details. And in several houses, there are workshops set up with demonstrations of traditional crafts and skills. And you can also find farm animals, which add to the overall atmosphere and remind you of rural life there. Now let's see an extra part about Christmas in Alsace. If you visit Alsace in December, you should know that every year, starting in late November and lasting a month, many cities, towns and villages host very traditional Alsatian Christmas markets, which are known for being the best in France and among the best in Europe. During that time, you'll see an atmosphere that is completely different from the rest of the year, with all the magic of Christmas. Now that you've got a clear overview of this top 10, for more places in Alsace, plus all the amazing local tours and activities you can experience there, check out our website, culturefrancia.com. The link is in the description. And for more videos about travel in France, check out our YouTube channel popping up on the screen. It's all well organized into playlists. And to support what we do, like, subscribe, and leave us a comment. See you in the next video.